The Oklahoma City Thunder is a scary basketball team because when you're looking at the landscape of the NBA and what OKC is doing this season, first off, Hartenstein was out at the beginning of the season. Chet went down. I think he's out till February or March. Correct me if I'm wrong on the dates, OKC fans. But they don't have the chemistry to build with those two big guys. Caruso has been out lately. He's one of their best perimeter defenders. And then you have the Boston Celtics coming to your building. They're up 10 points at halftime. They're fully healthy, locked and loaded. And that second half was just impressive stuff. You hold the Boston Celtics at 27 points. I know the offense from Jalen Williams wasn't there, but SGA, man, time and time again, he's just so reliable. SGA can get to his spots in the mid range without a lot of resistance. He's really good at drawing contact. Now, some of the foul calls, you can say, well, the refs were favoring the Thunder, but at the same time, SGA just draws fouls. He can get to his spots easily, and he doesn't rely on a 3-point shot. So that puts pressure on a team like the Celtics, who rely on the three to generate offense. And if they're not hitting those shots, and you've got SGA getting you 6 points in that painted area or mid range area, and that puts pressure on Boston to make a shot eventually. And he's just building momentum. I mean, he's getting to the free throw line and putting people in foul trouble and just making it hard on the defense. And then you have their intensity where they ratchet up on defense in the second half. And you could say, like, okay, some of it should have been a foul. But at the same time, you don't just hold somebody to 27 points and act like the defense had nothing to do with it. You've got Lou Dort, you've got Aaron Wiggins, you've got Isaiah Joe, you've got Cason Wallace, you've got SGA, you've got multiple wings and guards that can switch off different guys. And Alex Caruso is hurt. Chet's been out for a while. Isaiah Hartenstein had injuries at the beginning of the season. And here's what we're not talking about enough from the Thunders is Hartenstein, Chet, and Caruso have not played together this season enough. They haven't got enough chemistry, enough play time on the basketball court. Imagine when they get used to each other. How scary is that going to be for the Oklahoma City Thunder? I think if the Celtics and Thunder meet, and I'm just going to be honest as a Celtics fan, if they meet in the NBA Finals, it's a pick 'em series because you can make an argument that SGA is better than Tatum. I lean more towards Tatum just for his playmaking ability, his rebounding, his defense. I think those are valuable pieces. I also think, offensively, SGA is better at getting the mid-range area, but I think with Tatum, he's lazy when it comes to the mid-range area. I think he should be in the post more often. I didn't like the fact that the Celtics went away from what was working, especially in that late first quarter where they were playing more in the post and moving the ball around. I think if you're going to beat this Thunder team as the Celtics, you have to play inside out and at outside in, because if you're trying to move the ball around the perimeter to generate a 3-point shot and you're not starting in the paint, you're going to lose to the Thunder more times than not, because you could still shoot 30% from three in the finals and lose that series. Because again, we have to factor in Chet. We have to factor in SGA. Obviously, injuries are part of the game. Hopefully, these two teams stay healthy. I know the Celtics have been battling injuries with Porzingis. Jalen Brown's missed some games. I know Derek White's missing the game tonight against the Nuggets. But at the same time, hopefully these teams are healthy. Now, should the Thunder make a trade for a guy like Cam Johnson? I don't think they need to. Look at the depth. You have Aaron Wiggins. He can hit threes. I know they're streaking from three-point line, but you've got a guy in him. You've got Isaiah Joe, who's reliable. I know Caruso's not shooting that well from three this year. I know SGA is working on that shot. But at the same time, build what you have. I mean, this team is already elite defensively. Like, people are talking about historic numbers with their defense. Build it. Don't trade all your young assets for a Cam Johnson. I know Cam Johnson is talented, but I think the Thunder will just get better. You've got a guy in Jalen Williams who, yes, I know he hasn't been as impressive on offense. I know there are times where the Thunder go through lulls on offense if not hitting the 3-point shot and SJ is not creating off the dribble or he's in foul trouble. But at the same time, they're still young and they're only going to get better. Let's not act like Jalen Williams isn't going to get better as a basketball player. Let's not act like that. Also, Caruso with his shooting struggles, he can still come in 10 to 15 minutes a night and just disrupt someone's offense. Like, he can come in, make it hard on Jaylen Brown or make it hard on a Desmond Bane or a John Morant just to disrupt things. That he could, he might not have a lot of offensive firepower going on with his 3-point shot, but if he can come in for 10 to 15 minutes, get some turnovers or get some steals or just make it hard on his opponent, then that is a huge plus, because Thunder rely on their defense. And if you can, ratchet up the intensity, you're holding a team to 27 points in the second half, a team that can generate the 3-point shot, that gets those easy looks. And they did get some easy looks. There were some makeable shots from the Celtics, but it just seemed like when the Thunder ratcheted up the defensive pressure, The Celtics just looked lost out there. They looked overwhelmed. Another thing I noticed is the Celtics bench. The athleticism of the Thunder really bothered Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser and Al Horford. I think the Celtics need to take a step back and realize maybe we need to add another wing and figure things out. But you still shouldn't just give up on the mid-range area in the post game, because I think Tatum needs to be in that mid-range area where he's operating, where he's posting up a guy like SJ. He's bigger than SJ. He should use his shoulders and his strength to get down low, because either you're going to double him, he's going to pass it out, and they're going to move the ball around to get an easy three, or he's going to get to the line. So there's different things that the Celtics can do. They were doing that in the first half, and they got away from it. And, I know they had some offensive rebound opportunities in that third quarter. They just missed them. But the Celtics need to play more inside out against the Thunder. Otherwise, it's game over. I know experience will factor if they both meet in the NBA Finals, but I'm not going to put that in as a factor, because I think the Thunder are that good. Because when you can lock guys up, you got multiple wings. You have a guy who doesn't rely on the three-point shot to get his baskets, and he's able to get the free throw line. That's a recipe for a lot of success. We saw this with Dwayne Wade, where he made a conference finals, got to the NBA Finals. And in the NBA Finals, he was able to get the mid-range area and get to the free throw line. So, again, if your shot variance for the Celtics is shoot the three constantly, I'll talk about this in another video with the Celtics, but I think you've got to look at the Thunder and go, okay, this is a different basketball team. We got to make sure we work things differently, because the athleticism, Lou Dort, I know he's streaky from three, made his shots towards the end of the game, but the Thunder sent a strong message to the NBA and the Celtics that they are going to keep dominating. And if Chet can stay healthy, hopefully, these early injuries in his career doesn't derail his progress. But if Chet can stay healthy, he can keep building chemistry. The Thunder are just going to be hard to beat. They're going to be here for years to come. I know they have to figure out contracts because a lot of these guys are on rookie deals. But right now, if they can get to the NBA Finals and, even if they don't win it, or let's say they do win it, it's going to be tough to beat them. I'm just not going to lie. This is a really good basketball team. And shame on the NBA for not putting this on a national televised game. This should have been on like ABC or ESPN, in my opinion, because it was two, really good basketball teams, and they were going at it. And people still haven't really tuned into the Oklahoma City Thunder. You might want to start watching them. This is a really good basketball team. A lot of fun, great stories going on. SGA looking like the MVP now, I think, in my opinion, because you don't have Chet. Isaiah Hartenstein was hurt at the beginning of the year, and he has to carry a lot of the offensive load, and he's doing it from the mid-range and drawing free throws. Like, you can't just dismiss that. That's just impressive stuff, and he's efficient all the time. And yeah, maybe he'll, get exposed in the playoffs or be overwhelmed because he can't carry the offensive load consistently. But to me, this team is complete. They're getting better. I would not trade for any of these pieces. I'm keeping Casey Wallace. I'm keeping Aaron Wiggins because he's, reliable. I think he shoots like 37% from the three. Don't quote me on that. But I know he's up in the echelon when it comes to shooting well from downtown. Lou Dort streaky, but really good defensively. You have J-Dub, who, he has his moments offensively, but I still believe in him as a number 2 option next to SGA, or maybe number 3. And you have Chet when he gets back. Yeah, this team is just scary. And they did all this against a Celtics team who is fully healthy. Now, I understand that the Celtics haven't had their core roster, their top 8 rotational pieces for more than a specific amount of minutes, so they haven't been together enough this time or this year in the NBA. But at the same time, you still held them to 27 points. That deserves a ton of credit to me. And also, they didn't have Chet or Caruso. So, yeah, that is impressive stuff. So I like what the Thunder are doing. If you're a Thunder fan, you guys got to be excited. You're 30-5. They play the Cavs tomorrow. We'll see how that game looks for them. But, I mean, they were just balling right now. And, they had 2 impressive second-half wins or comebacks against the Knicks and the Celtics. I watched the Knicks game. The Knicks did look tired, but, man, the Thunder wore them out. And if you don't have depth, if you don't have the athleticism to keep up with them, they are going to overwhelm you on defense. And I think for the Celtics, again, you got to play inside out. If you don't do that, they're going to cause turnovers. I think they're the number 1 team in creating turnovers in the NBA. So they just make things tough for you, and you got to play a perfect basketball game. And if you don't do that, good luck. SJ, again, looking like the MVP in the NBA. I know it's a long season. I know Jokic is right there. He's putting up some insane numbers. I think it's going to come down to SJ and Jokic, in my opinion. The way they're playing, I don't want to dismiss Giannis, but the Bucks been struggling again lately. And when you're the number 1 seed and you don't have your second or third best option, whatever you want to put Chet in, I think he's more of a number 2 option. That deserves a lot of credit. Also, Jokic having an average roster, if he gets, it's going to be fascinating stuff to see who they lean as the MVP. I'm not against any one of these players because I think Jokic and SGA are putting up phenomenal numbers. And again, shout out to the Thunder. You guys are a really good basketball team. I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing. Even as a Celtics fan, I can objectively say, yeah, that's a fun basketball team. They're really good at what they do. We can be frustrated as fans, but at the same time, give credit as well. And I like what the Thunder are doing, and they're just going to be a powerhouse. As long as they can keep their core pieces together, they're going to be really good for years to come. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Make sure to like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Thunder's performance with the Knicks and the Celtics. Do you think they're going to win the championship this year? Do you think they got a room to grow? And do you think SGA should be the MVP winner? Also, do you think they should make a trade for a guy like Cam Johnson or just keep this roster together and keep building? Love to hear your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one.